Hey friends, Dr. Kim here. I'll start this episode by taking you back, way back actually, to the fever pitch days of the dot-com bubble. My role at CBS MarketWatch during those years is something I don't talk about nearly enough. Imagine it's the late 90s, early 2000s. I'm bouncing between Minneapolis and London, working alongside the Pearson team. And there's just this wave of absolute belief that the internet, it's going to solve everything. You could feel that optimism in the air, even on those red-eye flights. People talked like the rules just didn't apply anymore. Profits would just go up and to the right indefinitely. 2 plus 2 would somehow equal 14, and no one wanted to be the one left behind. Honestly, it did feel unstoppable at the time. But looking back, with all those headlines and all that buzz, I have to admit, insiders, outsiders, all of us missed the warning signs. Or maybe we just chose to ignore them. And here's the wild part. I remember we prided ourselves that CBS MarketWatch was the one site that didn't crash on 9/11. That felt huge. But underneath, there was this unshakable sense of the new economy means the old math is gone. I see now how seductive that thinking was. So, if you're ever wondering whether people at the heart of a mania can spot the bubble forming, I'll just say, sometimes the closer you are, the hazier things get. Fast forward to right now, and I gotta say, it feels like deja vu. The hype around AI, doesn't it just sound like the greatest hits of the dot-com era, but remixed? Massive amounts of capital flying into specialized chips, startups with fuzzy business models, people announcing it's all changed. Nothing from before matters. That's almost verbatim what we thought back in 2000. I get asked, is this AI wave really rewriting everything, or are we just repeating ourselves? Well, here's my take, and maybe I'm biased, but it's both. Yes, AI is powerful, but we said many of the same things about the internet in 2000, that it flipped all the rules upside down, that profits just hadn't caught up yet. Investors and founders are prone to, this time is different logic. In reality, hope gets ahead of fundamentals. People start layering wishful thinking on top of real innovation. And, well, I might be wrong, but it's almost like we crave another go at believing in magic. So, what even is a bubble? Anyway, bubbles show up wherever we humans start chasing easy money, tulips, housing, crypto, dot-coms, and now AI. You look back and you realize what kicks it off isn't just the technology or the asset. It's this shared sense that future profits will be astronomical. It becomes wishful thinking, people investing because they fear missing out rather than because the math checks out. I saw it up close. So many poured money into internet stocks just because you can't lose. But eventually, profits couldn't keep up and the bubble popped. The same phenomenon is everywhere. FOMO is real. And right now, a lot of the investment in AI, again, is driven by hope that the next big winner gets crowned tomorrow. Some of these AI businesses are making enormous losses, just waiting for the world to catch up so they can finally pay off. You can almost see the pattern repeat like a loop. Okay, but maybe you're thinking, this just sounds like Wall Street noise, right? Not so fast. Here's where it gets real personal. In both the dot-com and AI cycles, tech stocks anchor the average American's retirement and investment accounts. Your 401k, your index funds, they're probably loaded up with shares of the same tech giants, bulldozing into AI. If these AI bets fizzle out, well, it's not just some hedge fund manager on TV who feels the burn. Everyone with a diversified portfolio, hello, that's most working folks, sees the ripple. That's something the headlines rarely spell out for you. A quick example. Look at the composition of any big index fund today. 5 or 6 companies, mostly tech, now dominate the S&P. And what are they spending on? Billions, chasing the AI dream. If those bets go south, the knock-on effects reach your account balances, sometimes in ways that take while to bubble up. It's a downstream impact, and it's easy to overlook until, well, your quarterly statement lands and you're suddenly not so enthused. Now, let's talk about the cloud. I love this. People act like the cloud is some harmless, invisible force up in the sky. But y'all, it's steel, it's concrete, it's millions of square feet of windowless data centers. I live between two of the biggest data centers in the South, and let me tell you, it's not abstract. Drive through Northern Virginia, rural Georgia, or Ohio. Fields of corn and soy being swapped for endless server farms. And the transformation is wild. These data centers are the physical side of the AI bubble, just like McMansions during the housing boom. The environmental costs, whew. A single hyperscale structure can eat up enough energy for 50,000 homes and needs millions of gallons of water every day just to keep cool. In drought-prone areas, you end up with tech giants bidding against local farmers for water rights. I've seen those meetings. It gets tense, let me tell you. So here's a scenario I can't get out of my head. Remember all those housing subdivisions nobody really needed after 2008? That's what's at stake with these data centers. If AI demand levels off, or if the economics flip, you're left with these gigantic zombie shells, empty buildings, thousands of acres, no longer growing crops, but just sitting there, wasting energy and sucking up what's left of the power grid. The land doesn't just bounce back. The change is, honestly, irreversible for a lot of communities. People imagine tech busts as something that stays on spreadsheets or in investor calls, but look outside. Sometimes the biggest changes are staring you right in the face, right down your street, or across your nearest field. Now, this part deserves way more attention: the implementation bubble. See, not everyone's worried about stock prices or land deals. People on the ground in regular jobs are more anxious about panic adopting AI. I mean, companies in all sorts of traditional industries, not just tech, are being told, implement AI now or risk being left behind. And this is where it gets dicey. You get chatbots replacing actual helpful human customer service teams, except the bots often can't solve real problems, or it's HR. Suddenly using untested AI to sort resumes, baking in bias, and shutting out qualified folks. It's like we're embedding unproven systems into our everyday life, chasing efficiency, but sometimes creating more instability. And if revenue or results don't appear, but the tech is now baked into how we work, that's a recipe for a very uneasy future. There's also the bigger social fallout, and I'm seeing it everywhere, from hiring to credit, to what news makes it onto your feed. AI has zipped on ahead of regulation, ethics, and, let's be honest, even our ability to fully understand it. If you remember what we talked about in previous episodes, the speed at which these systems get embedded in daily life is just staggering. Take disinformation or surveillance tech. It's no longer future sci-fi stuff, it's here now, woven into decisions that genuinely matter to people. When these things get locked in before we ever have a chance to make smart rules or patch up ethical gaps, the consequences don't just go away when the party ends. It's a huge challenge for regular folks. How do you adapt or even push back in an AI-hyped environment where change is powered more by excitement or profit than by safeguards? But before you get totally discouraged, listen, it isn't all hype. Honestly, I use AI every single day for real work. It's freeing up experts from tedious stuff, letting entrepreneurs create on a shoestring what used to require a whole team. Just like the internet didn't vanish after .com, the most valuable pieces of AI will persist long after the market settles down. Yet, I'm going to wave the red flag here. Tons of AI tools now are basically loss leaders, offered cheap, even free, to hook you, but burning through billions to keep the engines running. Companies and investors, they're driven by FOMO more than clear strategy. That spells froth, not foundation. So as the field matures, Expect consolidation and a reckoning for these unsustainable models. The real innovation sticks around, the smoke and mirrors, not so much. Here's my advice. Don't just stare at stock tickers, watch what's happening in your neighborhood. Are local leaders handing out tax breaks for server farms, but skimming over the water and power bills? Are corporate AI rollouts supporting staff or quietly making people redundant? I've sat through those town meetings where unchecked optimism wins, only for reality to land hard later. And believe me, it shapes lives. The real question after any bubble isn't what happened to share prices, but what infrastructure, what changes actually stay behind, who gains, and who's left paying the bill years later. That's where you've got to keep your focus. That's it for today's reality check. There's a lot to chew on, but if history teaches anything, it's that these cycles repeat, just with new tech and bigger stakes. So stay curious, stay grounded, and keep an eye out for both the opportunity and the impact. And hey, we're only just beginning to unpack how AI will reshape our world. So stick around for more episodes. See you next time on The AI-Powered Entrepreneur.